All right, so let's jump into Luna today. It's one of the hot coins that a lot of people are into, and we're going to dive into it a little deeper. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to TechPath. Let's jump into Luna. You know, the scenario is on a lot of these token projects and in general is I always follow the combination of what the project is trying to do, but also equally important is the team behind it. So I want to jump over here to CoinMarketCap. Just a quick look at where Terra is, Luna. Holding at 1455, you can kind of see, let's jump to the 1 month, and you can kind of see the action here that's been happening. Pretty impressive going at this rate, which I think is pretty amazing at 572 right there back in July 20th up to where we are right now, hovering around almost the $15 mark, which it has hit the $15 mark. So some really good action, price action. Like the project, I am impressed with some of the things that's happening here. I want to kind of jump down here. This is a great tool if you guys have never used it. Getting into each individual project, learning a little bit more about it. But the founders, Daniel Shin and Do Kwon, both two conceived the project as a way to drive the rapid adoption of blockchain tech and crypto through a focus on price stability. And mainly this is around building into fiat-pegged stablecoins. That's the whole concept of where Luna is going. So it's trying to set itself apart to use its fiat-pegged stablecoins, stating that it combines the borderless benefits of cryptocurrencies on a day-to-day price. It also does by incentivizing Luna holders to swap Luna and stablecoins at a profitable exchange rate. So the benefit is that stablecoins are going to be a big part of our ecosystem in cryptocurrency and blockchain. And it's just going to be a scenario. You know the big ones out there being Tether, also obviously USDC. We've got a ton of potential stablecoins, though, that are developing in these regional markets, and that could be something that gets really big. We just did an interview with Lynn Alden, who is a researcher and analyst that really looks into the financial markets globally, and stablecoins are a big part of this because they could become a big play into some of the sovereign nations doing something in the blockchain, because stablecoins are going to be very critical. So Luna could play into this, which is why some of these kind of things really matter. Terra and Harmony announced a DeFi partnership focused on UST stablecoin integration. Basically what they're saying is, let me zoom in on that. Terra's excited to expand the growing portfolio of DeFi products, including multiple chains, and working with Harmony to bring UST and Anchor into the growing ecosystem. So this was a good partnership. Under the new partnership, it's going to be described as a deep integration initiative. Terra will integrate with Harmony and its shuttle bridge. It's basically a web front end that allows users to send Terra's UST stablecoin across supported blockchains. So again, this is a way for interoperability, and we talk about that a lot on the show. Technology, much like other kinds of technology, interoperability is going to be a big, big advantage. Let's jump into the price analysis. Why is Luna jumping right now through the roof? Everybody's wanting to know. Luna coin price awakened in this parabolic run, 70% after battling a little bit of resistance. And you kind of looked at the chart back there. We'll look at TradingView here in a second. But as of press time, it was at 1430. It's already surpassed that, closing in over the 15. That was a 16% increase over the past 24. And a dive inside, you know, it's basically mass adoption, list of projects launching on the platform, big deal. Demand for blockchain networks so high. You've got all these kinds of investors. Look at the one that's most interesting to me right here is this guy right here. This is Mike Arrington. Mike Arrington, XRP, is not related to XRP, even though they are a big proponent of XRP. But Mike Arrington is a internet renowned editor. He used to be a technology editor and ran TechCrunch and all of those different sites. And he's been investing in Silicon Valley for, I'd say, close to 3 decades now. This guy knows what's happening in the tech space. And for him to be in this project, that was enough for me to understand there's something special about what these guys are doing. So if you haven't checked out, go check out Arrington Capital, because I think you're going to be surprised at the number of projects that they're in and why those projects are very interesting to me, including one we just did a coin analysis on, Algorand, another one that they are into. So Terra, as we know, is all best known for producing minting algorithmic stablecoins. Back to the scenario. Since the processing of minting a stablecoin is rewarded through Luna, it emphasizes utilization of Luna to mint UST, which is Terra Luna. So that is a big advantage when you look at where this is going. And I think in simple language, the process of minting new UST comes at the cost of burning an equivalent amount of Luna, which in turn affects kind of that supply shock on Luna, which creates the demand, which creates the price action. And boom, there you've got it. That's why what we're seeing is happening, and happening at a pretty nice rate right now. The question, can it hold for a little bit? I don't know. We're going to look at a couple things here on TradingView to say maybe. This is where we see a little bit of the blue sky sentiment, and there's not a lot of action. You remember, you see kind of the fall off back here in May, and then Luna really was kind of a little bit of a sleeper, and you were buying it hopefully down here in this range, you know, back here in June, maybe even in July, before this little bump right here that we saw. And then this little rundown right here is where we pulled a sentiment bubble. Sentiment very strong at 61.59, and amplification, get this, 68.32. Let me tell you, any project that is ramping in amplification near the 70 mark, there's only a handful of them that even get close to that, at least that we've scored. Those are huge in terms of opportunity, and there's a bunch of those that we've been able to call here on the channel many times that have bumped up in there. And the scenario is we don't have a live dashboard on this yet. We still hope to one day have that available to where we could offer that out to our users. But that is something that I think is going to be very interesting as we look at this. And I want to jump to trade the chain here in a second, but right here you can kind of see the movement of amplification, not too much action with exception of that little spot right there, which occurred on August 4th, where Luna actually just a little bit over performance, and that moved it up to that 1550 range, where we're really on the high side right here, which gives me some real indication we could see some good price action here over the next week to 10 days for Luna. All right, so let's jump over here to trade the chain. I'm going to go to the 7-day, and you can kind of see this movement right here all the way back to July, $10 right here up to this price action at the 1550 mark. Sentiment kind of laid off right here, but price action is still moving. So back to our analysis is we're actually predicting a little bit more aggressive mood here with the sentiment than what Trade the Chain is looking at in terms of a little bit of a tail off right here. So there's two tails to what is happening with Luna. The question is, which one of these is going to pan out? Will we see this move into the $16 to $18 range? I have a feeling is if we don't see a big market correction before another dip before we see a run, then I think Luna is in a position right now, especially with some of these late breaking partnerships, and just because of stablecoins, a lot more people are going into stablecoins. Stablecoins in general help move Luna in general. So that I think that in itself, along with where the amplification and the sentiment are rolling, is a good sign, and definitely a bullish sign for Luna. So in terms of these types of programs, these are market movers. We'll pull these together, token analysis like this, give you guys a little bit of data, some technical analysis, and maybe some inside baseball that help you kind of get you moving in the right direction. Not investment advice, but hopefully it gets you going in the right place. If you are listening in over on the podcast, here's what you do. Hit the like button over there on Spotify. That's great. If you're on iTunes, drop a comment, give us a rating. And then if you would want to see all these charts, jump over here to YouTube right now. Just go over to your phone, YouTube, search Paul Barron Network. Bam, you're going to be there, and you'll be able to share and like this video, and of course, subscribe to the channel. If you want to hit me up directly on Twitter, I leave my DMs open. I know some of you guys say I don't. You got to follow me. I'll DM you back. I try to keep up with those, so it's not that I'm not ignoring you, but there are a bunch that come through, so I'll try to keep up with those the best I can. But just hit me up on Twitter @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.